My 41 male, wife 39 female of 11 years is heartbroken because she was unfaithful to me and the man she was with has cut off contact. My wife and I have 2 kids, whom I adore, 4 and 2. We relocated to a new city for a variety of reasons, one of which was to start over. My wife began a connection with someone she worked with during my previous deployment in the Navy. My wife has messed around with him at least twice already, on 2 business visits back to the original city. I learned of the first contact about a year after it occurred, and I thought we were on the mend. My wife made another trip to the original city a few weeks before Thanksgiving, business. Her vacation had been extended by 1 day, and her hotel was only a few streets from where the other guy worked. Before the trip, I challenged her about the coincidence of her hotel pick, particularly addressing him, and she claimed me he had nothing to do with her vacation plans and that everything was based on the lowest airfare. Lodging. I noticed an online discussion between her and him the day before Thanksgiving, reminiscing about their wonderful day together and the things they did in the hotel room. I was heartbroken. I took a screenshot of the conversation and sent it to his wife. Yes, this guy is married too. I immediately faced my wife and told her it was done, and I couldn't see how our relationship could be saved at this time. After spending Thanksgiving with her family, she persuades me to leave the children with her grandparents and take a few days off. We had a great time, and it wasn't only because of them. It was enjoyable, just as we used to have it, and it reminded me of why I loved her, and she reciprocated. I had a sense of optimism. On Monday, she receives a message from him. He is enraged, presumably because his wife had not yet seen the letter I had given her. He is enraged because my wife failed to warn him. He goes on to claim that they will never speak again. This is a positive thing in my opinion, but my wife is sad. Last night, she grieved in my arms because she loves him and may never see him again. She said that I am fortunate in that I only had one true love. She also expresses her desire for this to succeed, stating that she only sees a life with me. But I've lost hope after watching her response to how fast he pulled her out of his life without truly talking to her. I feel as if my life has come to an end and that there is no hope for us anymore. I'm at a loss on what to do. I still have feelings for her. She is an excellent mother. I can't picture my existence without her, yet I'm in a state of disarray. Now, let's go for story 2. My 27 female GF30 female hasn't had a job in 4 years and it's wearing me down. I began a long-distance relationship with a lady I met via a mutual acquaintance, which lasted about a year, and concluded with her relocating across state borders to be with me in the city. Everything was perfect, and we were head over heels in love. I agreed to take on the responsibility of supporting her for a time until she found work, since she relocated across state lines, and stated a wish to abandon her poisonous area of choice and try her hand at something more mundane. While I was at work, she would take care of the majority of the cleaning and grocery shopping. I'd even consented to sleep on a mattress in the kitchen since she suffered from severe sleeplessness and demanded extremely precise sleeping conditions. I could not tolerate these while working. I feel like I've done all I can for her, including paying for her costly medical requirements, which have wiped out my funds. Under the burden of supporting her for 1.5-2 years, I began to acquire an anxiety problem. What started off as something I was ready to do out of compassion and love gradually developed into a consent problem, and then a burden. Now it's been 4 years since she moved to the city, and she still hasn't found work. I'm worried. Mess and the stress of supporting her has worn me down emotionally. I've also ruined my physique by gaining weight as a result of the stress. I used to be a joyful, carefree person, but now I'm always unhappy and nervous. We have no life since my drive is absolutely depleted. I'm at a loss for what to do since I still like her, and we have a wonderful romantic connection. She's never done anything genuinely bad, if that makes sense. She's been caring, helpful, and truly saddened by her inability to obtain work and assist in shouldering the load. I've never given much thought to my mental health previously, but it's beginning to bother me. I've grown emotionally unstable, and my stress and anger show up in my interactions with her from time to time. The most difficult aspect is that I can see she's trying, but she's just failing. I've attempted to assist numerous times and have only been able to aid a little amount, but she hasn't done anything wrong. If she has, I haven't been able to figure out what she's doing wrong since I can't and don't want to stay there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to watch every job application. But I'm bitter because I feel like I've given up everything, from my physique to my mental health, in order to have this relationship, but it's just not working out. So, what do I do now? To be clear, this is a major, game-changing problem for me, which I've informed her is the root of my worry and anxiety. I don't notice any progress, and I believe she's too embarrassed to offer me information at this point, which adds to my anxiety due to the radio silence. Update. I wrote about a 4-year relationship that was suffering me mental, emotional, and physical health issues as a result of my partner's inability to find work or contribute financially in any significant manner. I posted the post at the peak of the COVID in my region, hoping to maintain the friendship. We had relocated to a new state and a smaller town in order to live more affordably and to address my physical requirements, which couldn't be handled in the city since everything and everyone was locked down. For a few months, everything was well. The employment question, however, reappeared. I was working full-time and had taken on additional duties for maintaining my fitness and losing weight. That's when I realized she was only existing. She wasn't interested in anything in the region and wasn't looking for work. In October, I spoke with her and we decided that my desire that she find a paid 9-6 job could be loosened, and that part-time work would enough to help out. After all, I just needed 2 things from her: occasional space and financial assistance in whatever manner she could. The first of 2 last straws happened that winter. I was trying to start a new company from the ground up and had to quit my job to do so, resulting in a 4-month period of negative income. It would be difficult, but she promised to assist by finding a simple job. This help never arrived. She couldn't or didn't want to do it. It started to feel more like the latter. As a consequence of my taking on contract work on the side, we barely made rent in February, effectively working 2 jobs. In February, we had a big argument over it. I wasn't ready to risk becoming homeless because she refused to work at a job that was beyond her skills. I said unequivocally that this was a deal breaker for me, and that I would not go further in the relationship unless she began contributing in the manner we agreed. She concurred. Another 5 months passed without a job. She begs me to relocate with her to her hometown and live with her parents while she hunts for a job where she has a network, upset with her lack of success. We took a pause because I flatly refused. I relocated to a different state in the hopes of getting some distance to think clearly about the relationship. By September of this year, I found I was perfectly content and stress-free on my own. We ended it totally. She still doesn't have a job, as far as I know, as of this writing. I feel exploited emotionally, physically, and financially abused, and I'm wounded by how easily someone can tear me down like this. But I'm also optimistic about myself, and I'm seeing a therapist to help me sort it all out. Furthermore, my company was well worth it, and it has grown to the point where it has provided me with enough time and space to cope with everything while keeping a healthy lifestyle. Overall, I feel like I've just spent 5 years of my life with someone who I'm quite certain has been a subtle abuser the whole time. It's painful to admit, but the way I've always felt like the evil person, or the way she guilt-tripped me and isolated me from my pals. Terrible news. I'll never let this happen to me again.